Ollie, put the kettle on, put the kettle on. Well, hello. Yes, it's coffee time. And it's also time to have a little chat about brokers. And a warm welcome to one and all. And for those of you not seen me before, my name is Langers and I am the coffee obsessed Scruffy trader. What I'm trying to do is kind of put trading in the real world. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good, please crack that little subscribe button, smash the like, because it genuinely helps, but more importantly, motivates me to do more of this. And what is this we're doing today? Well, I've been asked a little question, and I really hope I don't butcher your name. Sheriff from South Africa, or it might even be Sharif, but it's spelled Sheriff. So if I've made a mess of it, I do apologise, but a good salute to you and to your question. And what he wants to know is, what elements should you be looking for in a broker? And more importantly, which brokers do I use? And I thought, okay. So the easiest thing I can do is really just tell you the three that are on my radar and the reasons why they're there in the first place. And then do your own due diligence, but at least have an idea of what brokers have to offer. So let me go up into my study, the pit of profit, grab a coffee, and we'll have a chat.
Well, we're waiting.
Brokers. Now that's an exciting subject, isn't it? Because I know most of the time you're just going to come onto YouTube looking for the system.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
The one that's going to get me my green Lamborghini.
Ugh, make it stop!
God's sake. But the bit that you forget is, in order to apply a system, you need a broker. Because without a broker, you can't trade. Now I have three that are on my radar. I've wrote them on the whiteboard and I'll go through the reasons as to why I use them in just a second. But let's just take a moment to think about what you require from a broker. Well, you kind of see them behind me. One's a web-based broker platform and the other one is an MT5 platform. Both of them have their pros and cons. But are they the reasons why I picked the brokerages? Yes and no, but mainly no. And I know you scratch your head and go, what? Well, surely that's what you need. It is. The software behind the brokerage is very important, and I'll touch on that in just a second. But there's something more important, and that is, are they regulated? Now, I live in the UK, so the brokerages that I use are all FSA regulation. And what that means is, whatever money I put into them is protected. So if something catastrophically goes wrong, they go bust or they're just a little bit naughty, I know I will get my money back. So that's the first thing that I look at. And it doesn't matter where you live. You can sort of live on the other side of the planet in New Zealand, America, Europe, wherever. Check the regulation and make certain it's recognised by the country that you live in. And that way you should be okay. The next part you look at is, are they award-winning brokers? In other words, does the industry itself recognise them? Now again, you've got to do a little bit of due diligence because you can buy an award off the shelf. Believe it or not, you can. But if you look at the award and then go down into who gave the reward out, you'll find some of them are recognised bodies, whereas others are just Mickey Mouse that are paid for. And they are normally by some shady broker that's set up in the Bahamas that has no tax or law restrictions, and they basically can do what they want. Now, the brokers I use, they can't do that. They're not allowed. They have to follow a strict code of conduct. And that's why I've chosen them. So they're the main elements you want to look at. And then, of course, the last part is the cost. What is the actual cost of doing business with this company? Now, it can be done by a commission. It can be done by a spread. I predominantly use what's called a spread bet, or a CFD. And the price that I pay for the instruments that I trade is a spread. It's the difference between the buying and sell price, you know. And overnight they'll charge a small sort of percentage for holding a trade overnight, and that's how I pay for my trades. Now, some others just charge a commission, swaps overnight, that sort of thing. So you have to look at that, because some markets will have a spread that is incredibly tight, and others will be very wide for the same product at the same time. So the cost of doing business can be quite a bit. Okay, so let me jump on the whiteboard and I'll go through kind of the three that are on my radar, and I'll tell you why I use them, and then you can go along and do your own kind of due diligence. If you are interested in the ones that I use, I've put some links in the description below. For no other reason, I trust them. They've got my money, and I'm quite confident they'll look after you.
Isn't that logical?
Okay guys, so as I said, I've put on the board the three that are on my radar. Two of them I trade with, one of them is just a backup in case I need it. And the first one, which is no shock, is IG. I use IG all the time. I've used them for over 10 years, very comfortable with them. I know the platform inside out, and why not? But why would I have two others? Well, it's a number of reasons really. One, it's kind of protection of my own money, because don't put all your eggs in one basket, guys. If something catastrophically goes wrong, yes, the money is protected up to, I think it's 85,000 per account. I don't really want the chew of going through it. So I spread my money out a little bit, and helps me sleep a little bit. Similar to not having all your money in the same savings pot. But why use it mainly? Mainly it's the charts. I find their charts excellent. They're very clean, they're very intuitive, and the execution of a trade is almost instant. There is a downside, which is where Trade Nation pick up, and it is cost. IG, for all, I only pay money on spread and overnight charges, etc., is quite expensive to trade.
No way!
And there's no getting around it. Of the three, it is by far and away the most expensive. But I've used them for a long time. I like the software, and I'm very comfortable with it. So I'm willing to pay that price. However, there's been a few updates recently, and those who use IG will probably know this. It freezes out at the wrong time, and sometimes you can't even get logged on, which creates a problem with high volatility. So in other words, when there's a mass amount of people coming on, you can't get on to trade, or you can't get out of a trade, and you've got to ring up the help desk, and it kind of opened up an opportunity, which is why the others came in. Now, talking of cost, that's where Trade Nation came on the radar, because of all of the brokers that are out there. They have quite a unique USP. They have fixed spreads. So this makes it attractive because of cost. In market hours, their spreads are fixed, whereas with IG, you'll see the spreads go like this, you know, and it can be a nightmare because you think you're going to target and then the spreads move out and you think, oh, hold on, I should have hit target, and then it's got to run another 10 pips to get to your target. Sunday night is a classic example of that. It's a nightmare. It's horrible. Another reason why I don't trade Sunday nights. But these guys don't. It's fixed. They say it's 1 pip. It is 1 pip. Their web platform, not as good as IG, but they use the MT4 platforms. So if you're quite au fait with MT, it then becomes a good choice because it's cheap and you have a world recognized platform. Great. And then you have the third broker I use. Now I used to use InterTrader and I recently changed to Black Bull, and a couple of reasons why. I was introduced to it by a friend who coaxed me to go into it, and because of him, if you do open up an account of Black Bull and put some money in and trade, I'm doing him a favour. I'll give you some of my time in the form of a 1-to-1. You know, and I normally charge for that, but if you open the account, I'll do it free, just to set you on your right road. And why? Because of the 3, it's the only one that'll give you a high leverage. You see, in the Europe where I live, well, it's actually UK, so it falls under European rules, leverages were reduced right down. But because Black Bull is in New Zealand, it falls under different rules. It's still regulated and it's a worldwide recognition. They can still offer 500 to 1 leverage, which means if you have a small balance, you can grow if you know what you're doing. But high leverage is dangerous, and because it's dangerous, that's why I'm giving you some of my time, just so that you don't blow your accounts up, because that's the last thing I ever want. That's correct at the time of this video. But what else? Well, the next part is all 3 of them offer very, very good education packages within them that don't, as long as you're trading with them, you will get access to this free education. And why not? Because they want you on the platform. They don't want a one-hit wonder. They don't want you to dump your money in and then never trade, or just sign up and never trade. They want you to trade because they make money from the spreads. So how do they do it? They teach you. And it's as simple as that. So of the 3 of them, any one of them would suit you. They're all regulated. They all offer good education. The only one that offers you good leverage is that one. But the spreads are good. The overnight costs are good. Why not? Links for them below if you're interested. And if you're stuck, by all means, drop me a line. Tell me what you're looking at and I'll point you in the right direction. I genuinely will. But for me, my ranking is this. For all I've got at 1, 2, 3. That is my bread and butter. I do trade a reasonable amount with Black Bull now. That'll be ongoing. I can update it in a few months once I've drawn some money out and gone through that procedure. And then if you're looking for costs, Trade Nation. Simple as that. And I hope that answers your question, Sheriff. Because his question was, which ones did I use and why did I use them? And that's it. Ease of use, cost, leverage. Simple as that. So drop your comments below. Always interested to hear from you guys. If you're stuck, contact details are in the description, etc. Trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.